In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all some plays that are about to make a huge move for the rest of the week. All right. We're also going to be looking at the overall markets because there have been some news about potential easing of the tariffs. So we're going to discuss what to expect and get you all ready as always. All right, y'all. Let's dive into the charts. Right off the bat, we got the Nasdaq futures, and so far, it's still bouncing off of that 20,000 level. I told you guys that I was expecting a bullish move and that I was holding calls, and I am still holding calls for tomorrow. All right, I am holding calls. At this point, you don't want to be a bear because it's just the risk is too great, and it seems like a lot of bullish news are going to come out in the morning and also the next day. All right, and also let's look at this thing. Let's look at the 5-minute. We're making higher lows, meaning we have one low right there, and then we have another low at 20,000.2. We have a clear line of resistance right at 20,730, which I am quite excited about for us to break. I really am. Like, there are multiple ways to look at this whole thing. First and foremost, we have a reverse head and shoulders right there. We got the head, the left shoulder, and then we got the right shoulder, which happened today, right? Followed by the spike. The neckline actually broke, but it might be stretched out a little bit more. What you really want to pay attention to, because the market is really generous, especially when it have massive drops like this, right? But what you really want to pay attention to is the break of that to 20,730, because it doesn't stay down here for too long, right? It gives these opportunities and then stay down here for about 2 to 4 days, and then we pick up again. Same thing again happened here, same thing again happened here and here, right? And again this week. So I am leaning bullish on the markets. Now let's take a look at the VIX. What's going on with the VIX? It looks like it's rolling over, right? We have a double top near the top right here, 26, and then 25, right? And it's rolling over on the 4-hour. So that trend has, I would say the trend has broken. I will be a lot more convinced if it was to drop below 20 bucks. Then and only then, like, a lot of buyers are going to step into the market. Like, we're gonna break below 21 when that resistance at 20,700 on the Nasdaq breaks. When that happens, then you'll see all the buyers flood into the market, and the FOMO will really kick in. All right, but that's for the indices. Now let's take a look at the plays for tomorrow. The first one that I think is going to make a massive move is going to be Amazon. All right, now I want to share Amazon with you for two simple reasons. If you look on the daily chart, we have the drop. This is a 20% drop, a nice 20% drop. All right, next thing is it's at a spot where short sellers from way back here should be covering, right? Short sellers who shorted this descending triangle right there, they should be out at like 200. They should have been out. Okay, and then the next reason is when we look at the 15. Same thing again with the Nasdaq. I just showed y'all a left shoulder, a head, and then the right shoulder with the neckline that actually broke through, and the entry was supposed to be the neckline. All right, so we have the neckline right there, and then we have the appropriate entry for this play right here at 207 or 207.50. All right, and with this thing, let's say the Nasdaq decides to not just open higher. Let's say it opens just a little bit lower before really breaking that 20,700 level, right? This thing could actually retest the neckline at 206.57, maybe even dip a little bit lower at like 206 before taking off, right? The target for this thing should be, usually with this structure specifically, The target should be here, right at 214. All right, so it's either gonna get there tomorrow or it's going to get there on Friday. All right, so definitely keep Amazon on your radar. Definitely keep it on your radar. Now let's do an update on Microsoft. Microsoft was the stock for yesterday's video. Congratulations to anybody who took that trade on Microsoft. I told y'all, watch it for a move up to 400, and today it went all the way up to 401. All right, contracts on here went up by 200%. So congrats if you were able to capitalize off of it. And this is a perfect example of what a inverse head and shoulders is supposed to look like. Left shoulder, then we have the head, which is comprised of this ascending triangle, and then we have the right shoulder right here, and then we have the move to where it's supposed to go. So a similar move like that is what I'm expecting for Amazon. All right, either tomorrow or by Friday. Now we're gonna clean up the chart. Now, what's going to happen with Microsoft? Is this thing done? My answer to that is no, because the market still has a lot of ways to go, right? And also, if you look at the daily chart, the combination of these three candles right here, for those of y'all who are beginners and don't know how to read these candles, the combination of this, that, and this is called a morning star. And they typically work really, really well after a massive dump, right? So we have the dump right here, and then we have the candlestick pattern, the morning star, right? So two things can happen. It can be extremely generous to everybody who is super greedy and go like this to 413. Or it could give a doji if the NASDAQ doesn't break through that resistance line tomorrow. It could give a doji like this, and then breakthrough on Friday, right? So that's outcome number one and outcome number two. These are the reasons why you should keep your eyes on Microsoft. All right, now somebody asked in the comment section, again, if you have questions, definitely drop them in the comment section, because it makes it a lot easier for me to make these videos, like a lot easier. So somebody asked me to look at Okta, and I'm gonna give y'all a very good breakdown of this one. Okta, this one is in the cybersecurity space or software space. All right, now on the daily chart, we're gonna start from the outside in. Demolished from the highs of 204, so lots of room to recover. All right, and now we're gonna zoom in again. It's down by, it went down by 74%. Right now it's only down by 60%. Let's move on to the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, if we zoom out and we go all the way from the left, maybe we go with the daily. All right, we're gonna start with the daily. If we go on here and we draw a line, horizontal line of resistance, you can see that it stretches from 111. All right, so we have that going, a multi-year resistance line that the stock have been struggling to break through. All right, now we're gonna zoom in. 4 hour. We have on the right side, we have a beautiful ascending triangle that broke out through earnings, right? And again, y'all see the alerts that I have on here. I do think it's gonna get to 125, either tomorrow or Friday. So to the person who asked about it, the answer is 125. It's gonna get up there. If you look at the daily, the earnings report helps, right? They crushed earnings, and then if you look at the volume, it's quadruple the average of its regular volume. You see, the average is 2 million, 2.6 million. All right, and right after earnings, the average went up to 17 million, and then 13 million, 10 million, right? So still got room. The candles are getting really, really big. This is the type of price session where you want to get involved in. All right, so everybody, eyes on Okta for a continuation long. Okay, now the last stock that we're gonna look at, that one is Apple. Let me go on the 1 minute because I have to clean up that chart. So Apple, all right, so we got Apple right here, and this one had a very nasty drop, but it recovered, right? So we still have that resistance line at 250, and now we're looking at a double bottom. First, a very vicious and aggressive move right here, where it only gave short sellers like 1 minute to get the most out of the puts, and then we have a retest of that region right here. So now that we got that, we can expect a bounce. I do think it's going to bounce back up. We have, these are dojis, and I told you before, dojis are just filled with buyers. They're dip buyers here, and they're dip buyers right here. The next candle should look like this. All right, so that's my very honest opinions on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul Nguma, the Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we treat patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.